Hello, good day everyone, wherever you're watching me from. My name again is Abiodun, and I'm back again. I posted one of my videos that had to do with living in Australia as against living in Canada, and the video went viral. Apparently, a lot of people like immigration stories. And a lot of people want to migrate from wherever they are to a better place, you know. And a lot of people also want to know about destinations where they've never been to and have an idea of what's going on there. It was engaging. I had a couple of chats, you know, people commented on the video. Within a week, it's gone viral. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscriptions. And thank you for the engagement, the comments. Some comment shows that some people don't even know that despite that the fact someone commented about the fees that I mentioned, and the person didn't know that there's a difference in going to Australia with your family at once and being in Australia and trying to bring your spouse, man or woman. If you're trying to bring your spouse, despite that let's say you're married and you left your spouse in your country, you didn't file for your spouse in the first place, or you're living in Australia and you traveled to your country, home country, to go get married and want to bring that spouse to Australia, it's a total different way of migrating to Australia. If you go at once with your family and child and no, if you go at once and everything, is completely different, to when you want to file for a spouse or children overseas outside of Australia. Well, like I said, the video was engaging and I really appreciate that. So one person reached out to me to find out exactly how I was able to do it, that I was able to work in Australia, I can work in Canada, and I can also work in the US. And I will start like this, my journey to Australia, Canada, and the US. So it all began in 2015. 2015, when my country elected, that's my home country where I was a citizen. That's Nigeria. I'm still a citizen of Nigeria, of course. So my home country elected a man who was a former military head of state, whom we thought he was going to do a lot better in stopping corruption in that country, Nigeria. Very giant African country, rich in all minerals that you can mention. He would help us stop the corruptions of these politicians. He will come because of his so-called history to help curb corruption in Nigeria. But unfortunately, we were unlucky. He came and he came like he came to the presidential palace like it was his retirement home. The man just sat there and was just messing up. I was a vivid, vivid follower of the man, but unfortunately, the man disappointed me. As at that time in my profession, I was in financial technology. I was in banking, financial technology, and information technology. I was a deputy manager in my organization back in Nigeria, but the way the country was going, I felt so bad. Like, this is not nice. So in 2016, when everybody went to church, January the 1st of 2016, I sat down and I told God, I said, God, please, this 2016, leaving Nigeria is going to be my project. And I want you to grant the desires of my heart. Because, not that I'm not doing well in my country, but I felt that I should not with the way the country is going, I should not let my son, my only child, whom I called Adorable, by the way, I hope he's watching this video one day, will not fall victim of what is going on in the country. I wanted him to have a choice of another country. I wanted him to have a taste of a better life. You know, so I decided to make 2016 traveling out of the country, you know, my project. So to cut the long story short, my background was in the sciences. I read geography, and in my master's, I read geography and environmental sciences. So in America, we call it a STEM degree. So because I have a geography, a sciences background, geography and environmental sciences, it was more like a hot cake for countries like Australia, Canada, and the US. So I went to the website of the Australian government with the help of a friend who is in Australia currently. I really do respect my friend. He was, you know, very supportive, guided me through the process. I went to the government website and I like I said, I made it a project. I dug deep into the website. By the way, the website of this government will be in the description of this video, so you can always go to the description and tap into the website if you are interested in how I did, you know, get to work in all these countries. So I went to the website. By the way, the websites, they are so easy to digest. That is why most of the time I tell people that this immigration process is DIY. That means you can do it yourself. You don't need a lawyer. You don't need a legal representative to do it. So I digested it. I did an assessment of my foreign degree, and it was acceptable to Australia. And I met the threshold. There's a rating that you have to meet. As at that time, I think I felt it was between, for me to qualify, I had to be in the 60 and above something, but I qualified, and I got the visa, a permanent resident, and I was able to move to Australia and work. The same thing was what I did for Canada. So Australia, if you meet their criteria, I started Australia May. No. I started Australia October 2016. Yes, I started Australia October 2016. I got my permanent residency March 2017. That means that's between October, November, December, January, February, March. 6 months. I was able to get my green card. What we call it green card in America. Within 6 months, I was able to get my green card because I followed the due process, and I was giving them every documentation that the government of Australia required. Meanwhile, I wanted to do both countries, Canada and Australia. I filed for the same thing at the same time to make sure that I can, you know, either one that comes out. I was in a hurry to get out of Nigeria just because of my son. So I filed for Canada in 2016. I think it was early 2016. That was the one I started first before I started Australia in October. There was this, you know, the Canadian government does call their own the express entry. So we call it back home that you jump into the pool. So you have to jump into the pool, we call it swimming pool in quotes, jump into the pool and start swimming. So make sure you'll be swimming and find yourself high up there, then you get selected, and then you can get, you know, called to go and file, to go and get your green card. But because of certain conditions I couldn't meet the threshold. So there was a province, it's called Saskatchewan. The province of Saskatchewan needed my skill. So I begged the province, which is called provincial nomination. So I filed, I went to the province to beg them for assistance to file for me to give me an award so that I can file to the federal government. If they give me that award, I'll be able to get about 600 points. That 600 points will be way above what the government needs. So the provincial nomination was what I got to be able to, meet the threshold for Canada. So where I'm going to is that Canada, I started Canada 2016. Canada did not, materialize until until late 2018. That's about 2 years, right? About 2 years. So while Canada was in process, I moved to Australia. Do you understand? It was while in Australia that I completed Canada. Because initially, when Australia materialized, I wanted to abandon Canada because I was going to just bring my spouse and we could just live our life in Australia. But unfortunately, like I said in the earlier video, if you have not watched it, please go and watch it. The earlier video, the spousal visa was $7,000. I was like, where am I going to get $7,000? Man, this is too much, because I just got into the country and of course, I was working, I had bills to pay and all that. But before I could, when you first get to this country, you first start with menial job. They don't care about whatever degree or experience you're bringing from anywhere. And as I said, Australia is very kind of coach racist, so they're not even looking at whatever experience or degree you're bringing, So it was difficult to get the very good job that could easily pay for that fee. So I reactivated Canada and I started pushing it faster in Australia. So I could afford the fee, and it was because I was now applying from an advanced country, because I was applying from Australia, because records could easily be gotten in Australia, because I'm applying from a country that they were allies with, it became faster for me. So I was able to, bring my spouse, and we were able to come together as a family, and then we migrated to Canada. This Canadian process, I also did it by myself. I never, used a lawyer. And all these were possible because I didn't just have a bachelor's degree. I have a master's degree. So when you're well read, they do respect the fact that you are a master in your chosen career, in your field of study, and you are going to be, valuable to the economy of their country. So there are sections of their website that state specifically how you can apply to be a permanent resident of that country. All you need to do is just stay put to that website and do your due diligence. See it like a project. I saw all these processes as a project. I was detailed. In fact, sometimes, it was the US zone that was. I had to get a printer and printed the whole website. And I digest it by using markers to say these are points where they need. So there are within the statements on those websites, within them you will see they will specify materials that they require for certain visas. So you need to really digest that website. What I did, okay, so let me explain that of the US. When I now went through my 4 years experience in Canada, and I had a marital challenge. I got divorced in Canada, something happened, and somehow the marriage went apart. I couldn't stay in Canada anymore. I was heartbroken. I was heartbroken. I couldn't survive the weather. The weather was crazy. I was almost getting sick, because most of the time your breathing is circulated here. Most of the homes in Canada will definitely must have what you call what do you call it? I've forgotten it. I have it in here for your to humidifier. Every home in Canada definitely must have an humidifier, so that the humidifier will help you turn water into oxygen that you can easily breathe, so they can have fresh air. So I had to leave, and then because of the taxation in Canada, I was earning about 100,000 plus, and I was getting almost 50 something thousand, sometimes 48,000. After all the deduction. So it It wasn't making any sense. So I had to leave and come to the US. Like I said, I was going to go, in that earlier video, I was going to go back to Australia, but I wanted to visit some friends here first before, go back to Australia and go and continue my life. But when I came here and I met friends were like, why would you go back to Australia? Even Australians are willing to come back here. And really, Australians are willing to come to the US. Canadians are willing to come to the US. Why don't you go to the government website and just check what you can do to legally work in the US? My friend that I stay with said, you don't have criminal record in Canada, no criminal record in Australia. You've lived there for years. So why are you running away? Why don't you just stay with us here and have a good life here? Going back to Australia, Australia is Australia is less than 30 million people, or maybe 40 million, less than 40 million people. Canada is also less than 40 million people. America has over 400 million people. So that means the opportunity here is like 100 times. So what are you going to do in those countries where there's less opportunity? You don't need it. Forget about the guns and this thing. We've been here for years. I've never seen anybody shoot me or something. Though it happens, but it's not like it's an everyday thing, right? I thought of it, and what did I do? Like I did in Australia and Canada, I just went to the government website. And what did I do? On every government website, this is another trick of how I did it. On every of these government websites, there's a search button. So when I go to a particular website, not just government website, any website at all, if I am looking for something on that website, I will go to the search button and put in keywords. That's how I do my searches. So on the government website, well, all I did was just type in, how can I work in the US legally? So I am someone, I've been raised by a pastor father who taught me culturally that a good name is better than silver and gold. And since then, I've always lived by that, that motto. Aside that, one thing I hate ever in my life is to always watch my back, to always be afraid and thinking maybe the police was going to come after me and all that. No, I don't do illegal things. I don't like doing illegal things. I don't like that my freedom is taken away. Do the illegal things and you find yourself in prison, and then somebody will dictate to you when you wake up, when you sleep, what you eat. No, I don't do things like that. So I went to the website and I typed on it, how do I work legally in the US? How to work legally in the US. And a truckload of opportunities came up. A truckload of opportunities came up. And that is where I saw certain visas in the US. The visa's name is EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, EB5. So they are called employment-based visa. Employment-based visa 1, employment-based visa 2, employment-based visa 3, employment-based visa 4, 5, thereabout. So I checked the criteria. I never qualified for EB1. EB1 is for people that are well qualified, way qualified, PhD and above, that are vice presidents in their organization. They're probably CEOs, someone who has about $500,000 who's ready to invest in the country, maybe a vice president of an organization, or a COO or CFO, or the C-suits of an organization that the organization is trying to bring them into the US, or someone who wants to set up a business, something, 500,000 and above. That is the EB1. Those ones are the ever reigning senior, of people who want to work in the US. But EB2 is for those who have advanced degree, or persons of national interest, advanced degree and of national interest. So so I have advanced degree, which is a master's degree. I have worked for over 15 years as at that time, and I am a specialist in environmental sciences and geography. So I qualify. Then I am not just a specialist in sciences and all that. I'm also a specialist in terms of anti-money laundering and terrorist financing. That's my certificate right there. This is my certificate for I am certified in anti-money laundering and terrorism financing. I'm certified. I'm also a project manager. That's my PMP certificate. I'm also a project manager. Before getting to the US. That's my. So I also went to the University of Melbourne, Australia. That's my certificate from the University of Melbourne, Australia, the big one. I studied youth mental health. I did a postgraduate certificate in youth mental health, why people have mental health challenges when they're young. I also did a course at the Harvard Business School online. That's the certificate over there. So those are my certificates that I have. There are some other ones that I didn't display here, but because I have these specialties, aside from my geography and sciences, the government now saw that, wait, this guy, we need him in this country. If he's not, if he's not valuable for us in terms of environmental sciences and geography, he's going to be valuable for us in fighting terrorism and anti-money laundering. If he's not valuable for us in that, he would also be, he's a project manager. He can also help us. And apart from that, he can also be of value to us in terms of mental health. Do you get? So those are the things that I combined together, and I showed the government that, look, I am a resource. I am a resource to the US government. Please allow me to work in your country. I filed my petition, and the government said, no way, we need you. And within 3 months, they gave me my work permit that I should go ahead and continue to work while they continue to check my background. I do my, medicals and all that. I would say that my journey with this green card was was within a year and a half. And it wasn't supposed to be within a year and a half, if not that. The current president, Joe Biden, told the USCIS to backdate the green cards to the days of Trump's, the ones that were neglected during the days of Trump. They should work on those ones and start, progressing forward. Then, specifically March this year, I got my green card. So that's been my working journey from how I got my working rights in Australia, Canada, and the US. And you can do it. You can do it also if you are really interested. They are very easy. I am going to, on the description of this video, put the websites that I used to get my my work permit and how you're going to go about it. Just digest the page. If you are confused, put some comments there. I will definitely reply you. Every comment that I get, I reply. Please make the comments engaging and sensitive and sensible. Don't want comments that are not provoking and engaging. We really want to engage this community and let people learn. Freely was I giving, freely I would also give. Apart from that, please like the video, try and share the video so that people can know about these immigration processes. I am telling you that you don't need a lawyer. You do not need a lawyer to do any of this thing. I can guide you through how you can do it. You do not need a lawyer. You don't need to pay a lawyer. I am a living witness. I can, where's my green card? I can show you my green card. I can show you my Canadian passport. I can show you my Australian documents. I have everything. So, and then this video is the public, so the government is possibly can see it. My name is Abiodun Ojelola, so it's verifiable, you know. Thank you so very much. Please like the video. Like I said, please subscribe. If you think what I'm sharing here is of value, like, subscribe, and you know, press on the notification bell so that when I push out videos, you can know when I am pushing out a video. And then that will be all for now. I really do appreciate the engagement in the other video, and please engage with me on this one so that I can also push out more videos. Ask me questions, then I can do the video on them, and then I can, you know, let the public know about exactly what you're asking for. I have all these experiences in Canada, the US, and Australia. I don't know about any other country. I beg, don't ask me. Thank you. Like and share and subscribe. Bye-bye.